Now, I do also invite our viewers to write us in at newstips@nbcbayarea.com because, again, we are not seeing a lot of the power outages that we were told to expect at noon. If you are out of power, and obviously you'd have to do it on your phone and not your PC, send it in, newstips@nbcbayarea.com. We'd like to know where you are.
Yeah, and this red flag warning is actually in effect through today and tomorrow. So if you think you're in the clear now, no, not yet, because we're still in this red flag warning through tomorrow. Let's go to Carrie Hall. She's keeping an eye on the conditions and how long are we going to be in this situation?
Yeah, we're expecting the winds to pick up later on today, and we really won't feel it too much in the valleys. This is mostly for the higher elevations, but some tips for you if you're going to be out and about today. If you see anything suspicious going on, go ahead and report it. No outdoor burning, and you do have to be really careful because we do have the critical conditions that if there is a spark, it could spread rapidly. So you want to make sure you stay away from any really dry brush, and that also includes being careful even if you have a car crash, because that can often set a hillside on fire. We could also see some downed trees, once again, higher elevations as those wind gusts come up to about 55 miles per hour. These are the areas included in that red flag warning. It includes the Santa Cruz Mountains. We also see parts of the East Bay Hills included, and then over toward the Diablo Range, parts of the North Bay included in a red flag warning until tomorrow evening. A live look outside in Fremont, we see that there is still a nice little breeze picking up, nothing really out of the ordinary here, even as a cold front sweeps through. A live look outside in San Jose, and we are seeing sunshine, cooler temperatures, and current wind speeds and gusts are very low for many areas. Look at San Francisco, currently 3 miles per hour, San Jose 10, and Morgan Hill at about 12. We're also seeing the same in much of the North Bay. So as you head out the door, you're out there and you're not feeling much of a wind. It's mostly for the higher elevations. As we go through the forecast, it does show that our winds will pick up from the north at about 25 to 30 miles per hour in the North Bay. It'll take its time getting into parts of the East Bay as well as the South Bay, and it may not be until later on this evening when we really start to feel those winds increasing. We go through the timeline. Here we are at 7 o'clock. We're starting to see some bright colors being picked up around Mount Hamilton, showing that there will be some higher winds. And so this is all occurring at the same time that we will have some very low humidity. We'll see even as we go into early tomorrow morning, Napa, Winters, Clear Lake wind speeds at 25 to 30 miles per hour. So that meets the criteria of a red flag warning. And so we are going to see those wind speeds staying strong even into tomorrow. There are a lot of people comparing this to the Tubbs fire in the same weather conditions. I just wanted to talk briefly about what happened during the Tubbs fire. We had dry vegetation, low humidity, and a Diablo wind event that blew the winds offshore. It was also very warm. We also had wind gusts up to 79 miles per hour at peaks in parts of Sonoma County. In Santa Rosa, we had gusts up to 68 miles per hour. The fire started at 9:45 and spread rapidly as those winds continued to gust. And so those were the conditions we had at that time. And of course, we know the aftermath of what happened. Everything spreaded rapidly with the fire moving through a lot of dry brush. It took us a while to get some containment all the way up to October 30th. In the meantime, we had 22 casualties and over 5,000 structures destroyed and over 36,000 acres burned. So we're looking at our mountaintops with this event. And so far, we've seen some of those winds gusting up to 45 miles per hour in Mount Diablo, elsewhere at about 20 to 30 miles per hour. And we wanted to see for ourselves how those winds are gusting on Mount Diablo. So we sent our forecaster, Vianney Arana. She's out there live. How's it looking? Have you had any wind gusts?
We have seen some wind gusts. I would say overall the sustained winds are breezy at about 10 to 15 miles per hour. I will say this, on our drive up, it's beautiful. You don't really feel the winds down below, which is why, Carrie, I know you and I were working this morning. A lot of the viewers were saying, hey, it's not windy. So we drove up. Right now we're at the top of the summit. We're at about 3,600 feet in terms of elevation. And I'm holding here an anemometer. What is that? Well, it basically measures wind speed. If I hold this up right here, it captures the wind speed. It's clocking it again, sustained sustained winds at about 10 miles, 10, 15. And sustained winds pretty much just means that continuous wind, right? The gusts are that period of a strong wind that kind of sweeps through, kind of like when you're having a picnic and all of a sudden all of the plates fly off the picnic table. Think of a gust like that. Another reason for concern, remember, we're worried about the elevations above 1,000 feet. Right now we're at about 3,600. Is all of this dry vegetation. So I'm going to pan this out so you guys can see. This is where the area of concern is. Imagine something sparking up here, just how quickly that can spread. Any sort of wind or gust activity with all this dry vegetation can really become a problem. On our drive up here, the drive who kindly greeted us at the front, the volunteer, told us that the park was still open and it remained open, but they do have a number of restrictions. Now, right now here at the summit, I am seeing a couple of folks out here enjoying the view, which is always great to see, but they are warning folks at the front that we are under a red flag warning, so something to keep in mind. Again, areas for concern are going to remain through the overnight hours, so just please be cautious out there, but it's definitely windy in the higher elevations. I'll send it back to you.
Okay, Vianney, thank you so much. And as Carrie mentioned, the wind gusts are just going to pick up throughout the day into tomorrow. And again, we're in this unprecedented power outage to avoid a devastating wildfire like the Tubbs fire, the Carr fire, the fires we've seen so many years past. So
I really appreciate